Good morning, everyone. I'm out here by the gardens. I forgot to feed these guys their breakfast, so they're eating now. Good morning. The projects have started. You saw the guineas eating their breakfast. We're just kind of take you over here and show you what we got going on here this morning. We did make a major move for the bucks. We took them out of this area. You see all these drag marks? We had to be very creative. The shed that they use is very heavy. So we had to be very creative with a block and tackle the truck, some long cables, and we actually were able to move the bucks from this area. This is where their shed was sitting, into their new pasture area. And the reason we did that is because Pilot, our main buck, our breeding buck, figured out how to jump this fence. Keep in mind, Pilot is only about 3 foot tall, but he was getting over this fence. As far as we know, and we're hoping and praying, he did not breed the young doelings, which would be Simba and Carmela, but he was trying. So we're hoping the connection was not a full connection, because we think we caught him before he was able to do any real action, if you will. I don't even know how to go there, you know. But we think we caught him. We pulled him. And then we ended up having to tie him to his shed, which was right here, overnight, because he wouldn't stop jumping the fence. Once he figured it out, he kept doing it. And there's no power on this fence, because our girls are not motivated to jump a fence. They have no reason to, so they don't even try. But a buck in rut with a doe in heat, all bets are off, guys. That buck, it seems like he's got springs in his legs. So never assume a standard fence. This is a horse fence, and it's the 2 by 4 inch spacing. And this is at least 4 foot high, maybe close. No, I don't think it's 5 foot, because I'm 5'5", and it comes to my shoulder. So, but never assume, okay? Assuming is what gets us in trouble with our livestock here. So what we ended up doing is we hooked a block and tackle and several heavy duty steel like cables, I guess you would call them. And we actually used the trees. We used the truck and we drug that shed out from the back. It does have wheels on, but they're too short. And as you can see, it did a lot of dragging, but that's okay. We did no damage to anything. And I'm gonna go squirrel. Look at this. Guys, it's so exciting. Our first tangerines. Oh, let me tell you, we were so careful to come around these orange trees because the shed came out through this opening here, I think. I can't remember if it went that way or this way. But either way, it was up against our 2 orange trees. But look at that, guys. That's a beauty. You can see it's a good size, too. More like an orange than a tangerine. This is more of a tangerine size. And you see, that's starting to change color. Oh, there. And then there's 2 on this side. This one's getting lighter green. It was really dark green before. It still kind of looks dark green on the camera, but it's getting there. Here's another one. So there's 4 total on this little tree, and they're doing spectacular. This year I'll be pruning that tree. I'm going to take the center out of the tree so that the air and wind can get through it. It's really healthy for the trees. And we'll do that after the fruit is done for the year. Now, we ended up dragging the goat trailer from all the way back there, all the way through here, all the way around here, and we took it down. Let's see here. The truck is where we left it after we got it out of the back here. We brought it down. You can see the drag marks. We brought it down this way. And then we repositioned our cables, and here's some of the cables we used. Right here. These are the cables we used. Just to give you an idea, I'm gonna just see how thick and heavy they are. This and the truck, I put the truck in four-wheel drive. I was the one driving the truck. And these guys are in the new pasture. Yay! And the first thing they did was start eating the wild grapes and this one invasive vine that's got the thorns on it. That's what they started doing. Are you sunbathing, huh? They are behind a very hot fence right now to make them both behave. Even the little guy was very bucky the other day. But their shed is here, so they got dry, warm place while they work on this pasture for us. Right now they're being very lazy. Are you being lazy, buckies, huh? The little guy's getting a beard, oh my gosh. I wish we had a purpose to keep them, and I wish we had that we didn't have an issue. But you can see he's getting a little beard. Can you see his little beard? Oh my gosh, you're so cute. But because he's related to probably every doe, well, he's not related to the does. He's related to the doelings and his mama. But he's only an F2, Pilot's an F2. So there's no benefit to us keeping and breeding him. So him and Pilot are going to go to other homes as soon as possible. We're working on the shed today. We got to finish the shed, empty the horse trailer, then we're going to load them up and take them. And hopefully they'll get their own herd of little goats to breed. And these are small bucks. These are not big bucks at all. Like I said, Pilot's only about 3 foot tall. For someone who doesn't care about, as long as they're just breeding for milk, to get their does and milk, these two guys would do the job. Because these are the mini Nubians, which is a mix between a Nigerian dwarf and a full-size Nubian. Obviously a Nigerian dwarf buck breeding a full-size Nubian, because you don't want to do it the other way around, because you want the Nubian to be the carrier of the babies, because you could not breed a Nubian buck to a Nigerian dwarf female because the babies could be too big. What do you think? Oh, Pilot's being nasty. Ugh, does it ever end? So Jim and I have talked about this, and our goal is to get the bucks off the property for the winter and just have these fields growing, and then we'll be able to put the girls in pastures like this, and they will do our moving maintenance, if you will, until we add a buck in the spring. Hopefully I can find a buck within a reasonable drive. And don't know if anybody knows any goat people, but we're looking for a mini Nubian buck at the level of an F4 or higher to bring our herd up to that next level. So that's what we're looking for, and of course affordable. So you can see, I mean, against their little shed, they're not that tall, they're not big. He's so funny. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. It was funny yesterday, working around him. He kept rubbing up on my leg. Yes, we are attached. But reality is, if we're going to continue to build our herd to where we want them, and basically what we're trying to do is build to where we have sellable babies, that somebody who wants a mini Nubian and a good milk line, which is what they're bred for, we will have something decent to offer. He's got some yellow staining on him, the little pea head. He's just a little pisser. But yeah, we didn't have much clearing to do here, we had to trim down a little bit. I think it was just in here, because this trail is part of the trail when we used to put them in this patch here. As you can see, this is growing up beautifully. We will soon be able to put them in here. But that's going to be one of those pasture moves if they're still here. If they're not, then the girls will start doing this rotation. There are 2 rotations in this area alone. This will be a 3rd rotation. And then we can even go out this direction. And we can have a strip. This is their solar panels to charge their battery to keep the fence hot. But we can actually run the girls all up to the garden here. So we can run them in this strip. And then we got that patch back there by the shed we can run them in as well. So we got a lot of areas to run the girls through. And that's not counting the 2 areas over there, because we got one right by the driveway. And then we have one back where the bucks just came from. So we have a lot of areas we can rotate these goats through now. This pasture was just an addition to all that. And we needed a place to grow fruit trees. So my goal is, once we get this pasture under control, and it might take a year or 2, then I'm going to put some fruit trees in here. And I'm thinking of running chickens after the goats, because the goats will eat this down till about knee high on them, which is about maybe 6 inches off the ground. And then from there, he knows I'm talking. He doesn't go far from me when I'm over here. From there, the chickens can take it down the rest of the way. And if I could talk Jim into getting a couple little hogs, I would like to do like the American guinea hogs. We could have this whole pasture ready to be planted in one season. If anyone's interested in learning how to use animals to do the work for you, the one channel I follow is Justin Rhodes. He uses hogs and chickens where we have forest to clear. So we use the goats first, and then you see how I use my chicken tractors right now to keep underneath some of the pine area clear. We're talking about moving one of those chicken tractors over here, not in here. They'll climb all over it and ruin it. But we could be running chicken tractors all around the solar system, which would help with the solar system to keep the ground around that nice and clear. Look. This is the purpose of a goat. Who needs to prune a tree when a goat can get to what he wants? You're a little short for that one, buddy. You're going to eat the bark. You're going to kill the tree. Yep, he's going to eat the bark. It's a wild magnolia. It's nothing we planted. It's just a wild tree. And we got a ton of them growing in here. There's even some right at ground level, right by his shoulder there's some. But he'd rather chew on the higher up stuff. I think it's a good spot for them. We're still giving them hay because we don't know how much of this that they'll actually eat. So they're getting hay. They're getting their grains at night. We do grain our goats every night. They get a little bit. And that's just to make sure they're getting all the vitamins and minerals. They do get a mineral supplement as well. We do give them like oranges, garlic, stuff like that would help, which is a good boost. Vitamin C is very good for a goat. It actually helps them fight parasites. Alright guys, that's a good quick update. I don't know how quick this was, but I'm struggling to get videos out right now because life has just... It's the same old day after day. Project after project after project. So, and I do have a new project I'm going to share with you. But I wanted to show you, we finally got animals on the pasture. So this is a win. And you can see how our fence goes this way instead of straight back. That's because that's all wet. That is all wet back there. We can't run the goats at all back there. So we might have to do some backfilling. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, that's our buck pen move into the new pasture. Hope you all enjoy the video and have a blessed day.